I'm one last verse, okay? And I love this verse. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 14. Because, a lot of people get to preaching about grace and amazing grace and the grace awakening. And people get nervous because if we get a hold of this, everybody's just going to go crazy. And I say this every week. And, we can do whatever we want to do because God's merciful and gracious. Can I tell you what? It's the grace and the goodness of God that teaches us to say no to ungodliness and fleshly lust. That's not how this works. Look at this. And let me just, before I say this, and I'm closing, how many here will say God's been good to you? How many here will say you have experienced the unconditional agape love of God? That despite all your faults and failures and your weaknesses, He has pursued you. He has loved you unconditionally. To the point where you realize, boy, I don't deserve any of this. Man, if I got what I deserved, I'd be in a heap of trouble. How about you? He is so good. He has loved me. When I knew myself, I wasn't very lovable. I know none of you have ever been there in that place, but I have a couple times when I felt like, man, I'm ugly right now. And God loved me despite of that. Let me show you this verse, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 14. It's up there. Okay, I got it here. For the love of God does what? Everybody say compels me. Compels me. And I love the word compels because when we as a church, when we as individuals, we get a hold of what I'm trying to say this morning, what I'm trying to compel you in, when we get a hold of this, when you really wrap your mind around the goodness of God, the blessings of God that we didn't deserve, we didn't earn. I thought about when he said, when you come into the promised land, how many know this is our promised land? It's a place.